Hi, everybody. It's April 13th, the market update desk with Scott Riley. NMLS number 157524 had a really cool weekend. It was Masters weekend, one of my favorite weekends of the year. And Sunday at the Masters proved really spectacular. Had 7 or 8 players at the start of it were in contention. In the end, Rory McIlroy came through with the back-to-back Masters. And he's actually only the fourth player to ever get back-to-back ones. So pretty cool going on for the weekend. And the Tigers actually started to play a little bit better. They swept their series. So let's get right into what's going on. We have a lot that transpired over the weekend geopolitically. And it's our thought is geopolitical is going to kind of tell the tale of the tape for the week as so much is going on. Number one, in Hungary, we had the opposition party not only win the presidency, they also got supermajorities within their Congress. So you'll see some things change within Hungary. They were one of the EU members that vetoed many different things within the EU bloc, and it looks like that will free up some aid packages to Ukraine, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes forward. We have President of the United States, Donald Trump, indicate he wants to do a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz just to stop anything coming in or out for Iran specifically, to try to put a chokehold on that. That comes on the heels of peace talks ending with not really much positive from it. Looks like Vice President J.D. Vance flew back to the United States from Pakistan only after about 26 hours, 28 hours of negotiating. So didn't get too far that way. So there's just a lot going on geopolitically. Oh, also President Tarap of Turkey indicated they might want to get involved militarily against Israel if there is more bombing of Lebanon. So lots going on there, a lot to play out. Now, Friday, we saw the second inflation category or index come out for last month. CPI, Consumer Price Index, showed that seasonally adjusted, the headline CPI number was up 0.9% for the month, putting the annual inflation rate up to 3.3%. Now, this a very high number, but it's also what the target expectation was, so that helped blunt some of the effect. Now, this was mainly caused by a 10.9% surge in energy costs. The core CPI, though, rose much less, just 0.2%, actually a tenth less than expectation, and is up 2.6 year over year. That was also a tenth less than what the market had thought. Looks like it's indicating that the underlying inflation was contained. That's good news. Gasoline soared 21.2% in the CPI report. That accounted for nearly 3/4 of the 0.9 increase. Services, excluding energy, rose 0.2 for the month and were up 3% from a year ago. Shelter was up 0.3% monthly and 3% annually. Now that's tied for its lowest level since 2021. That's very, very important. That's why we're seeing some benefit to inflation, is because of the weighting on shelter costs. Food at let's see. We also had food prices. Those were unchanged from the previous month and up 2.7% year over year. Meat prices declined 0.6, while eggs fell another 3.5%. those and specifically fell 44.7% year over year. Now, new vehicle prices, those increased 0.1%. There were some signs of tariff impact on those. Airline fares jumped 2.7%. A lot of that has to do with oil and gasoline. Apparel climbed 1%. Today, we got a consumer report. It's specifically the Michigan Consumer Confidence, or the UMich report. That fell to an index of 47.6. This is actually a record low since they started tracking this back in the early 70s. Clearly, consumers are not feeling great about the current economic climate, as well as higher gas prices. The employment component fell to 41 from 52 index, nearest lowest levels since the Great Recession back in '08. The income index fell 4, which is definitely not cause for any wage pressure inflation. So that could potentially help some in the bond market. So it's another report that showed that honestly is contradicting what the BLS report showed, which was more than expected job growth. So we'll need to see a couple more of these to see which one is actually a better identifier of correct data. This week we talked about geopolitical. Data wise, we're going to get ADP weekly employment data on Tuesday, the third inflation number, producer price index, Wednesday, mortgage applications, housing market index, the Fed's beige book. That'll be an important one. Then Thursday, we get our jobless claims and industrial capacity and utilization report. Looks like the 10-year Treasury is up. It's come back a little bit. It's only up about 2 basis points, which is actually pretty impressive considering oil's popped up over concern of straight over moves and the geopolitical aspects that we talked about. So we'll keep on top of this. It is Monday at the start of a new week. Let's go out and have a great one. Scott Riley, the Market Update Desk, your original singular market news source for West Michigan, 616-293-2189.